Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Garga Uvacha. Ayam hi Rohini Putro. Ayam hi Rohini Putro. Ramayan Suhradoganai. Akyasyati Rama iti. Bala Kidyad Balam Vidu. Yadhunam Apritag Bhavat. Shankarshanam Usantyapi. Garga Muni said, this child, the son of Rohini, will give all happiness to his relatives and friends by his transcendental qualities. Therefore, he will be known as Rama, and because he will manifest extraordinary bodily strength, he will also be known as Bala. Moreover, because he unites two families, Vasudev's family and the family of Nanda Maharaj, he will be known as Sankarshan. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Swami Prabhupada. Baladev was actually the son of Devaki, but he was transferred from Devaki's womb to that of Rohini. This fact was not disclosed. According to a statement in the Harivamsa, Pratyuvachatato Rama Sarvamstan Abhitastitan Yadaveshwapif Sarveshu Bhavanto Mama Vallabha. Garga Muni did not disclose to Nanda Maharaj that Balaram would be known as Shankarshan because of uniting two families, the Yadu Bamsa and the Bamsa. Garga Muni did disclose to Nanda Maharaj that Balaram would be known as Shankarshan because of uniting two families, the Yadu Bamsa and the Bamsa of Nanda Maharaj, one of which was known as a Kshatriya and the other as Vaishya. Both families had the same original forefather, the only difference being that Nanda Maharaj was born of a Vaishya wife, whereas Vasudev was born of a Kshatriya wife. Later, Nanda Maharaj married a Vaishya wife, and Vasudev married a Kshatriya wife. So although the families of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev both came from the same father, they were divided as Kshatriya and Vaishya. Now Baladev united them, and therefore he was known as Sankarshan. I am very grateful to be back with you again. Thank you. Today, as we celebrate Sri Balaram Jayanti, the appearance of Lord Sri Balaramji, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8, entitled Lord Krishna Shows the Universal Form, Text 12. In this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, Vasudev and Devaki, who have endured such inconceivable heartbreak, suffering, having been imprisoned behind bars, shackled with chains for many years, having seen 6 of their children murdered before their eyes. And then Devaki, her 7th child, was so special, made her so illuminated with joy, and then mysteriously disappeared from her womb. And the 8th child, Krishna, the night of his birth, he attracted their hearts in this prison cell. He illuminated their lives. But then, appearing like a little baby by Devaki's request, he ordered Vasudeva to carry him to the home of Nanda Maharaj in Gokul. Nanda Maharaj so much was thinking, with his unconditional parental love, and Vasudeva, his dear friend, was only thinking of the welfare of the child. So Vasudeva sent Gargamuni, the greatest of the Brahmins of the Yadu dynasty, to go to Gokul secretly to bless the child. We find when Gargamuni arrives, Nanda Maharaj is so overwhelmed with gratitude. A great sage, a true sadhu, has come to my home. Such a blessing. He praised Gargamuni and praised his own good fortune that he had come to the house. Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas tell that saintly people, they visit the homes of householders, not to beg something from them, but to give them spiritual guidance and blessings. Nanda Maharaj, he had 2 little babies, Krishna and Balaram. Krishna, he was under the impression he's the son of myself and Yashoda, which he was. Because Nanda and Yashoda are the eternal parents of Lord Krishna. And Balaram, who was just about 15 days or so older than Krishna, was actually hiding in his home. Wife of Vasudeva, Rohini, was sent to Vrindavan to get shelter from Nanda Maharaj. But Nanda Maharaj loved Balaram as he loved Krishna. He requested Gargamuni to perform the name-giving ceremony, one of the Vedic samskaras. Gargamuni questioned whether he should. Myself being a high priest of the Yadu dynasty, very close to Vasudeva, if I perform this name-giving ceremony, the word will spread. And Kamsa, who's looking for the 8th child, of Devaki and Vasudeva, everywhere, they will think this child must be him. Otherwise, why is a Yadu priest coming to Gokul? And he will come to attack Krishna. Balaram, of course, he didn't give their names yet. He will come to attack the children. Nanda Maharaj, out of his love for his children, from his heart and also his example, wanted to set the principle how important it is that a child is blessed. These Vedic samskaras are not just rituals. Each and every one of them is to invoke the heartfelt blessings of great personalities and the Lord upon the child. Nanda Maharaj is eternally Krishna's father. Such an exalted position. What are we compared to him? But still, in the natural humility of a great soul, he was not thinking that I can protect Krishna. He wanted the blessings of great souls upon his child. We find this as a universal principle. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada, our own beloved Guru Maharaj, he would give the credit of what he was doing to his father and mother. When he was a little boy, his father and mother would regularly invite sadhus to their home. And serve them very nicely, just like Nanda Maharaj served Gargamuni so nicely, with heart. If we ritualistically serve a great personality without truly from the heart feeling grateful and wanting to please them, and even if they speak a blessing, we will not be so blessed. Because Krishna is Varada Raj. He is the supreme giver of blessings. And he gives his blessings through those who love him. Jayata mam prapadyante tamstadaiva bhajamya. Krishna's mercy comes according to how we approach him. Our surrender. In this sense, surrender is being truly grateful for Krishna's mercy and showing our gratitude to those who he loves. Just a few days ago I was in London. Actually, yesterday I was in London. That's the reason I sound spaced out. But while I was there, I every day spent several hours with our very, very dear brother and friend, Shruti Dharma Prabhu. He first met Srila Prabhupada in the early 1970s. He faithfully served Bhaktivedanta Manor since about 1978. There were times when the British government passed laws to close down the temple from public worship. And he, Pranabandha Prabhu, Akandari Prabhu, Vipamoy Prabhu, these devotees, they just a few, they led resistance because of their dedication. It went to the courts and they lost. They went to the courts again and they lost. They attracted so many other religious organizations, Hindu organizations, Christian organizations, Jewish organizations, to join with them for their religious freedom. They had large marches, rallies at the British Parliament. Still nothing happened. I think it took about 12 years. Finally, they were victorious. And where at one time at Bhaktivedanta Manor there was no public allowed to come for worship, in a few days on Janmashtami, they're expecting approximately 80,000 people. That's how many people regularly come. Earlier this year, Shruti Dharma Prabhu was personally invited to have the Queen of England meet him. At least that's our perspective. But they met together. He regularly on Diwali, in the presence of Prime Minister, gives Diwali address and blessings in the Parliament. But most of all, among the devotees, he's united everyone. Bhaktivedanta Manor is probably the most unique, incredible project in the West, in its own way. Srila Prabhupada spent most time there in Europe. He called it his European headquarters. George Harrison donated it. As large population of Prabhupada disciples, second generation, third generation, Pandavasena, Western people, Indian people, temple people. Shruti Dharma Prabhu has kept everyone united, serving together in such a spirit of devotion, because everybody knows that he's there for them. And recently it was discovered he had an extremely dangerous form of cancer in his brain. So such a vulnerable condition, not really knowing how much time, so much physical difficulty. And yet when I visited him, I would speak so many things. But he only spoke one thing: how grateful he was, how blessed he felt himself, truly coming from the core of his heart. Sometimes in that state, it's difficult to articulate too many thoughts. At which time it's just what's in your heart. Again and again, eloquently expressing gratitude. Gratitude for all the devotees who have blessed him. Gratitude to Srila Prabhupada and all of his gurus. Gratitude to Krishna, who's given him so many opportunities to serve in every way. Really, it's hours and hours every day. Every time he was going to speak, I could predict what he was going to say. In different ways, he simply was grateful, was happy, was surrendered. Because this is the quality of Sharanagati, surrender. Is you're not complaining. We all have so many reasons to complain. In this material world, padam padam yadvi padam natesham dukalayam ashashrutam. Doesn't take a great person to find reasons to complain in this world. Abrahma bhuvanaloka punar avartanorjuna mamupeti tukontiya punar janmana vidyate. From the highest planet in this world to the lowest, they're all places of birth and death. They're all places of threefold miseries. Miseries of the body and mind, miseries caused by others, miseries caused by natural disturbances. And yet in this world, under the illusion of Maya, people think that they could show how great they are by criticizing others, by complaining about situations. There's limitless abundance of reasons to complain. But surrender is whatever condition we're in. We're grateful for the opportunity to remember Krishna. We're grateful to serve. We're grateful to receive Krishna's love and the blessings of others. So Nanda Maharaj was so happy. Garga Muni has come. Nanda Maharaj he's Brajaraj. He's the king of Braj Bhumi. All his hundreds and thousands of cows and calves and bulls. All the people of Vrindavan, they all accepted him as their leader, unconditionally. What Nanda Maharaj said, everyone would do. When his father, Parjanya, performed a ceremony in Gokul to coronate his older brother, Upananda, as the king of Braj, Upananda said, in front of everybody, the title, the role, the power, the popularity was all being given to him. And everyone unanimously accepted, yes, it is yours. There wasn't an election. There was no need to campaign or prove himself. It belonged to him. He's the Upananda. But in front of everyone, he melted their hearts. He said, actually, my younger brother Nanda, he's more qualified than me. I just want to assist him. Upananda was perfectly empowered and qualified. But he saw that his brother had this special feature of love, of devotion, of care. So he said, I want to give my title to my younger brother. It's not the way brothers usually are in this material world. There was no competitive envy or anything. And Nanda Maharaj was very humbled. He was thinking, no, you're my brother. I'll do whatever you say. And Upananda said, this is what I say. You be the king of Braj Bhumi. I will be your minister and I'll give you whatever advice you'd like. And everyone in Vrindavan, they were so happy. Not only were they happy that Nanda Maharaj was going to be their leader, they were so happy to see the love between these brothers. It was so real, so deep, so profound. And Nanda Maharaj, very humble, he basically accepted the position because Upananda, his father, Parjanya, ultimately agreed. And all the people of Vrindavan said, yes, this is what we want, please do it. So he said, all right. But whatever Upananda tells me to do, I will do that. And that's the way it was from that day on. He accepted the role, the service. But Upananda was, anything he guided, Nanda Maharaj would immediately do it. After so many asuras and calamities were happening in Vrindavan, in Gokul, Upananda said, we should move across the Yamuna. There's Govardhan Hill. Let us go to the forest of Vrindavan. It's not that easy to just move a whole community. Practically the same day. But it was Upananda's suggestion, Nanda Maharaj, yes, we will go. And they went. So this story is still here in Gokul. Nanda Maharaj is the Father of God. It's a very exalted title. Srila Prabhupada often says that impersonal philosophies, they want to become God. But a devotee can become the Father of God. And better still, Yashoda Mai is the eternal Mother of God. And the Gopas are the friends of God. And the Gopis are his intimate lovers. This is the nature of bhakti. Loving, ecstatic relationship. So Nanda Maharaj, in his eternally most exalted position, he doesn't feel himself qualified. And yet we feel ourselves so qualified. He's very much feeling that his love for his child is for his child to be blessed by great souls. We were speaking, Srila Prabhupada's father and mother would invite sadhus almost every night to their home and serve them with so much humility and devotion to make them happy. Can you imagine eating the prasad of Srila Prabhupada's mother, Bengali mother, offered to Radha Govinda? So through the hospitality and through serving them wonderful prasad, the sadhus' hearts were overflooding with joy. And at that moment, Srila Prabhupada's father and mother, they would ask for only one blessing. Please bless our son, Abhay, that in his life he will be a great devotee of Srimati Radharani. Srila Prabhupada was a little child, but he would personally witness his parents begging these sadhus for blessings. And here he is in his mid-70s, the acharya of a worldwide movement, and he's remembering how his parents loved him. And this is how they expressed their love, by their example. Every morning he would rise and he would see his mother and father worshipping Radha Govinda, chanting the holy names of the Lord, offering puja. He'd see such integrity, such character in the way they lived, because they were conscious that Krishna's watching their every movement. Krishna's hearing their every word. We cannot pretend to be great devotees when we're really conscious that Krishna's always there in our heart, watching and reciprocating. Krishna has entrusted this child. It is our first and foremost duty in life to make sure this child is happy in Krishna's mercy, that this child will love Krishna. They didn't ask the sadhus, bless my child to be a doctor. Bless my child to make lots of rupees and take care of us when we're old. These things children are supposed to do if that's their dharma. But everything's included, because when the soul is happy, then life is perfect. Please bless our child that he will be a great devotee of Sri Radha. And Prabhupada would very emotionally and blissfully narrate his parents' example. In fact, the summary study of the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, Srila Prabhupada wrote Krishna book, which was the first revelation in the Western world of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwarka. And Krishna dedicated the book to his father, Gorbohande, who gave him this conception of loving Krishna from his earliest childhood. And he said, and later, my own beloved Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, gave me oh so much more. So here is Nanda Maharaj, the king of Braj, appealing to Gargamuni, please perform this name-giving ceremony, because this ceremony will invoke blessings upon these two babies, my children. Balaram, he knew, was Rohini and Vasudev's child. But the child was entrusted in his care. And ultimately, aham bija pratapita. Krishna tells, I am the seed-giving father and mother of all living beings. So is this child actually mine? It's Krishna's child. The soul belongs to Krishna. The body is made of Krishna's energy. But the child is entrusted in my care. And the way we care is with love, The highest love is to be an instrument of Krishna's love. So Nanda Maharaj was very, very much thinking the urgency that this name-giving ceremony must be performed to bless these children. And he told Garga Muni, if you're fearful that Kamsa will find out about you doing this, then we'll do it completely in secret. Not even my relatives will know. No public, no family, just us. Yes. Like that. The mood of Nanda Maharaj was not anything except for the true benefit of his child. There was not going to be any pomp, any ceremony, any festival. If he could have done that, he would have. Nandotsava, the birth ceremony, was incredible for Krishna. They were dancing, they were singing, everyone in Vrindavan were dressed in their best garments. There was big feasts, they were throwing butter and yogurt all over each other. And it was a great festival. Something we can't even imagine. But the whole festival of Nandotsav, they performed the Abhishekam of Sri Krishna, was just for everyone to bless Krishna. That was the purpose. If you make everyone happy, they will shower their blessings. If you make everyone happy, if you make all these devotees happy, Krishna will reciprocate by fulfilling your wish to bless the child. So here is Nandotsav, the birth ceremony, samskara. Such a festival. Everybody dancing and singing and celebrating. And here is the next samskara, the birth, and it's completely secret and private. They hid in the Goshala, where the cows were. Nanda Maharaj did not even tell any of his family members. He just wanted that blessing for his children. And since Janmashtami is coming, and soon, we will only discuss the part about Balaram today. And Garga Muni, interesting, he says, this child, the son of Rohini, will give all happiness to his relatives and friends by his transcendental qualities. Therefore he will be known as Rama, and because he will manifest extraordinary bodily strength, he will also be known as Bala. Moreover, because he unites two families, Vasudev's family and the family of Nanda Maharaj, he will be known as Shankarshan. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami tells the story of the birth of Krishna and Balaram. That fateful night, the marriage of Devaki and Vasudeva, Kamsa was so affectionately bringing his sister, cousin sister, to her husband's home. The very night of the marriage, a voice came from the sky, Kamsa, you are a fool. The 8th child of your sister will be the cause of your death. Suddenly his mood changed. From an affectionate brother with tears in his eyes, trying to make his sister happy, He grabbed her by the hair, his eyes glowing with wrath, pulled his sword, was about to sever her head. Shows how circumstances can change a person's consciousness. But Vasudeva pleaded with him. Philosophy didn't work for Kamsa. He spoke really good philosophy, but Kamsa couldn't hear it. He was stuck in fear and ego, arrogance. But Vasudeva was so honest when he promised, every child I will give to you, because you have no danger from your sister. Kamsa trusted him. And when they were in prison, after the 6 children were slain, they represented the 6 sons of Marichi, who represents the mind, who are the children of the mind in this world. Lust, anger, envy, arrogance, greed, and illusion. And in order for Krishna to manifest within our heart, we must remove those 6 enemies. They were actually children. They were cursed in a previous birth to be killed in this way. And after they were liberated. So at that time, Shankarshan, Balaram, entered the womb of Devaki. Krishna instructed Yogamaya to go to Gokul. He said, I want you to transfer the child of Devaki into the womb of Rohini, who is at Nanda Maharaj's home. And then I want you to take birth as my sister from Yashoda. Now to transfer Balaram, Srila Prabhupada writes in purport, that's really a big task. To take Balaram out of somebody's womb and move to somebody else's womb. Yogamaya was thinking this is what... But she said, so be it. Because she understood with the instruction of Krishna, by the will of Krishna, anything is possible. For any of us. That is Krishna's grace. Srila Prabhupada quotes from Haribamsa. Rohini Devi was living at Nanda Maharaj's house. She was 7 months pregnant. At midnight, she had a dream. It was a horrible dream. She dreamed that she had a miscarriage. Soon after, she woke up, and it was true. There was a miscarriage, at least apparently. She was feeling great motherly distress. And at that moment, Yogamaya spoke to her and told her, this is all my doing. I am attracting the child of Devaki into your womb. Rohini is the eternal mother of Balaram from the spiritual world. And when Devaki's child entered her womb, he actually took shelter of his eternal mother. Krishna told Yogamaya that this child who you are going to be transferring, his name is Shankarshan because he's going to unite two families. His name is Bala because he will give the residents of Gokul so much happiness, and his name will be Baladev. His name is Rama because of that happiness, and his name is Baladev because he will exhibit such limitless spiritual strength. So it's interesting, Garga Muni is giving the same names that Krishna told Yogamaya for Balaram. Srila Prabhupada, he said many times that we pray to Lord Balaram for spiritual strength. Balaram is the original guru. Krishna and Balaram together live forever in the spiritual world of Goloka. Srila Prabhupada, he wrote, on behalf of all of the great acharyas and scriptures, the difference between Krishna and Balaram is Krishna is dark like a monsoon cloud, and Balaram is white in complexion like a spring cloud. They are one and the same. Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna in the spiritual world. This gives the ultimate emphasis in our spiritual life on the principle of loving relationship based on service. Beyond this material world of birth and death, we have our little earth planet. Above that is Swargaloka, the heavenly worlds. Above there is Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka, the higher planets of the great rishis and sages. Beyond that is Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, the abode of Brahma. Brahma lives 311 trillion years. Beyond this material existence is the Brahmajyoti, the Paravyoma, the eternal spiritual sky, which is forever filled with divine light. Within that spiritual sky are the planets of Vaikuntha, where the Lord is eternally residing. And above all the Vaikunthas is Goloka. Now when we say first expansion, we can't exactly say it's chronological, because it's eternal. How can you have chronology in eternity? If Balaram is eternally existing, then how is he coming from Krishna? If Krishna is eternally existing, how is he coming from Nanda and Yashoda? These are wonderful mysteries. Because the concept of chronology in the spiritual world is not based on the influence of time as we know it in this material world. It is simply a pastime. It's simply a wonderful, wonderful arrangement of the Lord to increase the loving relationships within pastimes. Leela. So Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna. From Balaram comes the Chaturvyuha, Shankarshan Aniruddha Vasudev Pradumana. From that comes Narayan, the Narayan who is the Lord of Vaikuntha. From Narayan comes a secondary Chatur, the four. And from them, from Shankarshan comes Mahavishnu, Karunodakshai Vishnu, who is the Lord of the entire creation. He expands himself to be Garbhodakshai Vishnu, the Lord of each universe. He expands himself to be Kshirodakshai Vishnu, the Lord within the heart of every living being. And that Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who has a spiritual planet of Svetadvip, it is from he that all the avatars are manifested. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam. Krishna comes again and again and again into this world. All these great avatars, Narasimha, Varaha, Vamana, Ram, they all manifest through Kshirodakshai Vishnu. And the cause of all causes of all of these is Balaram. He's the origin of all incarnations, the origin of all Purusha avatars, but his origin is Krishna. And Balaram, he's the original guru because the master of everything that exists, but eternally his life is to serve Krishna. As Narayan, when the Lord appears as Narayan, Balaram appears as Ananta Shesha, to be his bed, his umbrella. Balaram expands in the spiritual world to be the spiritual world. He becomes the Lord's shoes, his jewelry, his chair, his bed. In every possible way, he's simply serving the Lord, giving pleasure to the Lord. And in reciprocation, the Lord is always giving pleasure to Balaram. Similarly, the Hladini Shakti, Sri Radha, who's none different than Krishna. For all of eternity, she's the servant of Krishna, giving pleasure to Krishna. And Krishna, for all eternity, feels himself indebted as the servant of Radha, giving pleasure to Radha. So this is the sum and substance of the highest revelations of yoga, of spirituality. Is loving relationship. Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. Balaram is one with Krishna. They are the self-same person. But eternally they're different also. And that difference is for one reason only, to facilitate loving reciprocation. And this is Bhakti Yoga, the yoga that reconnects us to that love. All the gopis are simply assisting Sri Radha, and all the gopis are simply assisting Balaram in loving Krishna. One time Srila Prabhupada was sitting and some of his leading devotees were discussing expanding this movement in different properties that they were acquiring and different problems how to resolve and distributing so many millions of books. And Prabhupada was in a meditative mood. They asked Srila Prabhupada, one devotee, God knows why, but this devotee asked Prabhupada, what are you thinking? Srila Prabhupada said, I'm just thinking, what did Yashoda Mai put in Krishna's lunchbox today? The goal of everything is that simplicity. To enter into the Leela of the Lord. So yes, Krishna and Balaram are one. Radha, Krishna are one. But the separate identity that they simultaneously have is simply for the purpose of loving exchange. Nityo nityanam chaitanas chaitananam. Mamaivam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. We are all expansions of Krishna. Each and every one of us. Wherever there's life, there's a spirit soul, and that soul is a part of Krishna. An eternal soul. And why did Krishna expand himself into all of us? For eternal loving reciprocation. Ananda. Krishna wants each and every one of us to taste the sweetest, highest happiness. And Krishna's feeling the sweetest, highest happiness in giving that happiness to us. And we are feeling that happiness and giving that happiness to Krishna. And that is the supreme reality. Above liberation. Above birth and death forever. And Balaram, he's the example of the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. In every way serving. In every relationship Krishna has, Balaram is there in the lead. Shantaras, he expands himself as the clothes, the shoes, and the abode of the Lord. Dasyaras, he's engaged in serving the Lord in every possible way. Sakyaras, he's Krishna's, the leader of all the cowherd boys. Vatsalyaras, he's Krishna's older brother, so he has parental affection for Krishna. And in Madhurya-ras, he expands as Ananga Manjari, who is Sri Radha's younger sister. To be there, to assist Sri Radharani and Krishna in their most confidential pastimes. And in this material world, he expands himself to be the empowering principle within the spiritual master, the Guru, who's teaching us how to engage in Krishna's service, how to love Krishna and be happy. That is Balaram. In Ram Lila, Balaram appeared as Lakshman, younger brother of Lord Sri Ram. He's all powerful as a servant. When Ram was exiled to the forest, Lakshman, who was the constant associate of Sri Ramchandra, he insisted, I will go with you. Ram tried to convince Sita not to come. But Sita was so insistent. I cannot be separated from you, I must come with you. And Ram surrendered to the will of Sita. When Lakshman said, I will come, Ram didn't even bother trying to convince him otherwise. He said, yes, Lakshman, come. From their birth, Lakshman was always the servant of Ram. And although Lakshman is the source of Mahavishnu, and all other avatars. He would walk in front of Sita and Ram, sometimes behind them, protecting them. When they'd come to a little place, whether it be Chitrakoot or Panchavati, Nasik, Lakshman would build a little house for them. Natural, simple. With his own hands he would build. When Ram and Sita were resting at night, Lakshman didn't sleep. He remained awake, guarding. When they were at the kingdom of Guha, Lakshman, along with Guha, made a nice little bed for Ram. And when Sita and Ram were resting, Lakshman stood up all night guarding. During the great fight of Sri Lanka, Lakshman was struck by a mystical powered javelin in his chest. He fell down, and there was no symptom of consciousness in his body. Lord Sri Ramchandra, seeing his brother in this state, he stopped fighting himself. He fell on his knees, weeping in concern for his brother Lakshman. And that was the great opportunity for Hanuman. The doctor of the Vanaras, he said, there is an herb in the Gandhamadana mountain, long way from here. Bring that herb, Hanumanji. Hanuman saw Lakshman was in danger. And Ram's love for Lakshman. Rama's crying. It's a Leela of love. And it was that scenario that Hanumanji jumped to the Himalayas. He couldn't find the herb, so he picked up the mountain. Nothing could stop him. And we have all seen that famous of all paintings of Hanuman. The most popular is carrying the mountain. And what is the Leela of carrying the mountain? He's carrying that mountain because Lakshman, Balaram, appears to be in a helpless state, and Ram. What greater way of pleasing Ram than at this time of his need to assist him? Hanuman was actually doing it for Lakshman, knowing that's Ram's heart and soul. And when this fragrance of the herb entered into Lakshman, he immediately came back to consciousness. That was pinnacle of Ram's happiness with Hanuman. Ram's love for Sita. When Sita was in the Ashokvan of Ravana in Sri Lanka, it was Hanuman that jumped over to console her and then come back to Ram to give the message. Hanuman is the emblem of bhakti. He's the personification of devotion. And we find these two particular pastimes are prominent. And both of them are times when Ram was feeling deep pain of separation due to the plight of his beloved. One is Sita, the other is Lakshman, and Hanuman was right there. to give pleasure to the Lord's devotees. In Gokul, Krishna and Balaram were two little infant babies. After some time, they learned to crawl. Krishna tells in Gita, I'm the ability in men. But to give pleasure to the residents of Vrindavan and through the Srimad Bhagavatam to give pleasure to all of us. They are crawling. So beautiful. Sukadeva Goswami says the way they would crawl, they looked like two little snakes crawling around. And they especially went to those places where the cows and the bulls and the oxen would leave their urine and dung. They were especially fond of cow dung and cow urine. And they'd crawl right through it. Their parents and the other elder gopis, they would see Krishna Balaram just dragging their little baby bodies through the cow dung and cow urine, and they would smile. Sometimes Krishna Balaram would be looking for their mothers crawling. They'd hear the tinkling of ankle bells. They'd crawl, 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 thinking this is my mother. But it wasn't their mother, it was another gopi. They'd see little Krishna and Balaram with the tinkling of their ankle bells, and they'd say, oh, Krishna Balaram, and Krishna Balaram would notice, this is not Rohini, this is not Yashoda, and they'd get all very afraid and crawl away looking for their mother. Rohini would lift up Balaram, Yashoda Mai would lift up Krishna and put them in their laps. They were covered with cow dung and cow urine. As they were about to put their milk in Krishna and Balaram's mouth, sometimes they would notice in their mouth little teeth started growing. And Rohini and Yashoda would count the teeth and compare. I guess that's what mothers do. Out of love. Sometimes when they're crawling around, Krishna and Balaram would see a little calf grab their tail. The little calf, feeling their tail pulled, would become afraid and jump up and start running. They were dragging Krishna again through dung and urine, through the dust of Vrindavan. And because the calf was so scared, running here and there, and Krishna Balaram, they were scared to let go. Seeing this, Rohini Devi, Yashoda would smile. Their children appeared so helpless, just holding on. Rohini would pick up Balaram, Yashoda Mai would pick up Krishna and embrace them and make them feel protected and happy in their mother's love. After some time, Krishna and Balaram, Sukadeva Goswami says, without difficulty, they would learn how to walk. Little by little. And as soon as the Srimad Bhagavatam talks about walking, immediately comes the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram stealing the butter from the gopis' homes. And then we find this wonderful story where Krishna eats dirt at Brahmandagat. And Yashoda Maya is asking Krishna, why have you eaten dirt? This is not good. How could you eat dirt? I'm giving you so many sweets. I'm giving you my milk while you were eating dirt. How will you remain healthy if you're eating dirt? Krishna says, I didn't eat dirt. And Yashodhama, he said, but you did eat dirt because Balaram is telling me that you ate dirt. And Balaram's your best friend. He steals butter with you. He does everything with you. He would never lie against you. Balaram is saying that you ate dirt. And the reality is Balaram was claiming Krishna ate dirt. Why? Because Krishna actually did eat dirt. So here we find we've just been narrating little drops from the ocean of the stories of Balaram's complete surrender and submissive to assisting Krishna and serving Krishna. As Lakshman, as Sheshanaga, holding up all the universes, as Ananta, the ultimate servant of the Supreme Lord. But here, he's telling Yashoda and getting Krishna in trouble. This is Braj Bhumi. Balaram's eternal existence is simply facilitating loving pastimes between Krishna and his devotees. So Krishna had to open his mouth. After all, Balaram said he ate dirt. And that is the time when he showed the entire universe within the little mouth. Balaram appears as Nityananda Prabhu in the age of Kali. There's a beautiful story of how after Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met for the first time at the house of Nanda Acharya, Sachimata told Nimai that she had a dream. In this dream, she saw Nityananda Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya go on the altar of Krishna and Balaram and started taking all the sweets that were being offered to Krishna and Balaram. Krishna and Balaram were very angry. Balaram told Nityananda Prabhu, you cannot do this. I'm the brother of Krishna. I'm Balaram. You cannot, who are you to steal his sweets? I will punish you. And Nityananda told Balaram, they were in the form of little boys. He said, I am not afraid of your Krishna. I am the servant of Vishwambar, Lord Chaitanya. Your days of stealing butter are over. Lord Chaitanya, he was so happy to hear this. They were fighting, and then finally at the end, Nityananda was calling, Sachi, Sachi, give me food, give me food. So Lord Chaitanya said, we should invite Nityananda Prabhu for prasad today. And Lord Chaitanya went to Nityananda Prabhu. Sachimata prepared wonderful lunch prasad. He said, Nitai, you're being invited today by Sachi Devi to my house, but you should behave properly. Nityananda Prabhu said to Sachinandan, Sri Chaitanya, that I always behave properly. You are the one who don't behave properly. That's why you are saying I don't behave properly. They came with some of their associates and they sat down and Sachimata came to give them prasad. And when she came back for seconds, she saw Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya were sitting there as two little tiny boys, one with a white complexion and one with a dark complexion. Krishna Balaram as little children without clothes on. And she fell unconscious. That is Yashoda Maya's Leela, serving Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda as Sachi Devi. On Balaram's 5th birthday, some wonderful things took place. But the Abhishek starts in 15 minutes. Huh? 11:30. So on the 5th birthday of Sri Balaramji, Nanda, Yashoda, Rohini Devi, they kept Balaram from going into the pastures with Krishna. At this time, Krishna and Balaram were in charge of taking care of the calves. Just previous to this day, one day Krishna and Balaram with all the gopas were taking care of the little calves. So many calves. And one of Kamsa's associates, a demon, for the purpose of killing Krishna and Balaram, he took the form of a calf. Very sweet-looking, innocent calf with nice lotus-like eyes. But Krishna knows everything. So as they're making the calves very happy, taking them to nice pastures to eat soft, nutritious, delicious grasses, and bringing them to the kunds and the nectarine lakes to drink water, as the gopas would play so many wonderful games. Krishna told Balaram, that calf is a demon who's come to kill us all. Balaram acknowledged. Krishna and Balaram very, very nicely walked just behind the calf, whose name was Vatsasura. And Lord Krishna suddenly grabbed the rear legs of the calf and whirled him around until the demon was dead. But Krishna likes to do many things with even one action. Because there was this tree called the kapita tree. And these fruits are very delicious. So Krishna wanted to get those fruits for his friends. So he threw the calf on the top of the kapita tree and then all the kapita fruits fell down. So on Balaram's birthday, Rohini Devi kept him back to have Abhishekam for their little son, and also to engage him in serving the Brahmins, to give gifts and charity. We find in the scriptures this is the way birthdays were celebrated. Because there's no greater gift than the blessings of great souls. So the little children, besides the yagyas that the great souls will perform for them, they would have the little children giving in charity. And then little children, and this is true for all of us, when the children learn that the greatest gift is the opportunity to serve great souls, then we're giving the child something wonderful. If we just give material toys and whatever else, clothes and gifts, that's fine. It's natural. But it doesn't really give a direction in life. But when we give them the value that the greatest gift we're giving is where you give gifts to others, where you serve others, where you're being blessed by others because of your serving. That's the gift that Rohini would give Balaram and Yashoda and Nanda would give Krishna. So Balaram was staying back to get all these yagyas and to give all these gifts to great souls. And meanwhile, when Balaram wasn't there, it was a special opportunity for Krishna to perform leelas. Because Balaram was his protector, his older brother. So on that day of Balaram Jayanti, today, we're celebrating these pastimes today. Aghasura came to Vrindavan. Balaram wasn't there. He took the form of a gigantic serpent. I'm going to summarize because of time. Aghasura opened his mouth. His lower lip was on the ground, his upper lip was in the clouds. Govinda, Hare Purusha, Govinda,
Mate Bhakti Dhira Swami Dhira Arashwate Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshata Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
श्री बलराम जी की जय। श्री बलराम पूर्णिमा महामहोत्सव की जय। दाई गौर प्रेमानंदे।
বৈশে সরি সরি
বলদেবা সহসকা বৈশে সরি সরি
সুক্ত সখারি ভজি নালিত কুষ্মন্দ
সহসকারি ভজি নালিত কুষ্মন্দ
দলি দলনা দুগ্ধ তুমি দলি মোচকন্দ
দলি দলনা দুগ্ধ তুমি দলি মোচকন্দ
মুগ্ধ বোর মাস বোর রতিক ঘৃতানা
মুগ্ধ বোর মাস বোর রতিক ঘৃতানা
শাসকুলি পিষ্টক ক্ষীর পুলি পায়াসন্না
শাসকুলি পিষ্টক ক্ষীর পুলি পায়াসন্না
কাপুর অমৃত খেলি রামবাকি রসারা
কপুর অমৃত খেলি রামবাকি রসারা
অমৃত রসালম দ্বাদশ পকোরা
অমৃত রসালয়ালা দ্বাদশ প্রকারা
লুচি চিনি সার পুরি লাডু রসবালি
লুচি চিনি সার পুরি লাডু রসবালি
ভোজন করে না কৃষ্ণ হয়ে কুতুহলী
ভোজন করে না কৃষ্ণ হয়ে কুতুহলী
রাধিকার পাকায়ানা বিবিধ ব্যঞ্জন
রাধিকার পাকায়ানা বিবিধ ব্যঞ্জন
পরমানন্দে কৃষ্ণ করে না ভোজন
পরমানন্দে কৃষ্ণ করে না ভোজন
চলে বলে লাডু খাই শ্রীমধু মঙ্গল
চলে বলে লাডু খাই শ্রীমধু মঙ্গল
বগল বজায় আর দেয়া হরি বলো
বগল বাজায় আর দেয় হরি বলো
রাধিকারি গানি হেরি নয়নের কোণে
রাধিকারি গনে হেরি নয়নের কোণে
তৃপ্ত হয়ে খায় কৃষ্ণ যশোদা ভবানে
হয়ে খায় কৃষ্ণ যশোদা ভবানে
ভোজনান্তে পেয়ে কৃষ্ণ সুবাসিত বারি
ভোজনান্তে পিয়ে কৃষ্ণ সুবাসিত বারি
সবে মুখ প্রকালয় হরে সরি সরি
সবে মুখ প্রকালয় হয়ে সারি সারি
হস্ত মুখ প্রকালিয়া যত সক গানে
অষ্টমুখ প্রকালিয়া যত সকা গানে
আনন্দে বিশ্রাম করে বলদেব সানে
আনন্দে বিশ্রাম করে বলদেব সানে
জাম্বুল রসালানে তাম্বুল মশালা
তাম্বুল রসালায়ানে তাম্বুল মশালা
তাহাকে কৃষ্ণচন্দ্র সুখে নিজ গেলা
তাহাতে কৃষ্ণচন্দ্র সুখে নিদ্রা গেলা
বিশালাকাশিকি পুছা ছামার দুলায়া
বিশালাকা শিখি পুছা সমর ধুলায়া
অপূর্বাশয়ায় কৃষ্ণ সুখে নিরয়ায়া
অপূর্ব সয়ায় কৃষ্ণ সুখে নিদ্রা যায়
যশোমতি অঙ্গ পেয়ে ধনিষ্ঠায় নীত
যশোমতি আজ্ঞা পেয়ে দৈনিক
শ্রীকৃষ্ণ প্রসাদ রাধা গুঞ্জে হয়ে প্রীত
শ্রীকৃষ্ণ প্রসাদ রাধা মুদে হয়ে প্রীত
ললিতারি সাক্ষী গানা অবশেষ পায়া
হরিতাদি সখী গানা অবশেষ পায়া
মনে মনে সুখে রাধা কৃষ্ণ গুণ গায়
মনে মনে সুখে রাধা কৃষ্ণ গুণ গায়
হরি লীলা একমাত্র যাহার প্রমোদ
হরি লীলায় মাত্র জয় প্রমোদ
ভোগারতি গায় ঠাকুর ভক্তি বিনোদ
ভোগারতি গায় ঠাকুর ভক্তি বিনোদ
কত বৎসল শ্রী গৌর হরি
ভজবাগত বৎসল শ্রী গৌর হরি
কত বৎসল শ্রী গৌর হরি
ভজবাগত বৎসল শ্রী গৌর হরি
শ্রী গৌর হরি সহি গোষ্ঠ বিহারী
শ্রী গৌর হরি সহি গোস বিহারী
শ্রী গৌর হরি সহি গোষ্ঠ বিহারী
গৌর
Hari